So when I left religion, I would not have called myself a feminist, because in Christianity, particularly fundamentalist Christianity, Calvinistic, Southern Baptist ideology, there was a dark viewpoint on independent women. They viewed women as male accessories. And if you've never experienced something like that, I mean, it's a mind funk. They don't see women with agency or autonomy. They see them as people who marry men and have men's offspring. That's all they view women as. And it's so frustrating. Like, why in the world would you do that? Why do you only view women as something to be consumed when they're wonderful, beautiful people? It does not make sense. It just doesn't. Like, why would you do that? They don't see them as amazing people. And feminism is important. It should not be something that only women do. Because if only 51% of the population is feminist, then what are the men teaching their offspring? All men should be feminists. They should stand up for everyone's rights. Men, for men, women, and every orientation in between. That's just the way decent human beings see people. And for a religion like Christianity to villainize feminists and villainize women who want something and enjoy something is just utter depravity. It's just, So, feminism is important because if everyone isn't free in living their best lives, nobody is free. Nobody is living their best lives. And this is why the patriarchy is so bad. Not only does the patriarchy hurt men, women, and everyone else, it sets up an inferiority race and gender predominance. I don't want to see people as less than. I want to see people as dynamically interesting and complex. And I just don't want to see people the way the patriarchy sees people. Because if the patriarchy hurts women, it also hurts gay people. Because that is the way things work in the patriarchy. And I just don't want that anymore. Who would? Who would want people to be unhappy? I don't. The patriarchy hates people who don't measure up in any stereotype or trope of any group. Why do they hate trans people? Because trans people dare to be outside of gender norms. Why do they hate women? Because they're not men. Why do they hate African Americans, Latinos, and Hispanics? Because they believe, according to Christianity, that they're cursed and beneath contempt. And they're not. But that's what these people believe. I don't want to live in a world where everyone isn't equal. Because if everyone isn't equal and protected and have the same privileges and access to everything that the privileged people do, live in that world. That's not okay. And women, they deserve better. They deserve partners who care about them. Women deserve partners, not placeholders. And that really does come down to how you view women. Because if you don't see women as fully human, and that they're a woman even if they can't or don't want to have kids, you're not going to view gay people well. You're not going to view trans individuals well. Because it goes against the patriarchy. And the patriarchy is an awful, awful, awful place to be. Because the patriarchy does not view women with respect. They're pawns. And I never say that a certain group is my favorite. But being an ally is about educating yourself and sticking up for everyone. Everyone who has value and whose ideology protects people's rights and privileges. And if nobody should be privileged. Everyone should be equal. The sad part is, no one in my family besides myself even sees things as privilege anymore. They think there is no white privilege. And feminism says that everyone should have an equal opportunity. Everyone should be paid the same for doing the same labor. That's a great thing. But religion, Christianity, villainizes it and says no woman should be in charge. And then we get people like Donald Trump who are just awful. I mean, I would rather have an experienced, dynamic, wise leader who's a woman than someone like Trump. I want to see females be in charge. I want to see minorities and marginalized groups who are educated, experienced, and can defend and represent us properly to be in charge. The problem is, the people who vote, the majority of them just don't want anything but a white, cis, straight man. They see a family man as someone with character. That may or may not even be true. So, I always tell women, protest. I tell men, protest. Use your rights before they become a thing of the past. Because it's very true. People who don't fight for what's theirs, they stop having those rights. They stop gaining and enjoying what they hold dear. And the sad truth is, women have lost rights in the last 5 years. Because the people who vote and the people who are religious and donate the biggest bucks, they don't see women as equals. They see them as inferiors that are barely above a child's brain's activity. They don't see us as competition. They see us as a threat because they knew that if we chose not to live by their stupid rules, we could gang up on them. And we need to start viewing everyone as equal. Because feminism is a great thing. The patriarchy doesn't like feminism. Christianity does not like feminism because feminism threatens white male privilege. And they don't see women as having the intellect and education and experience to be the best leaders. Even though history's taught us some of the best leaders of history were women. Economic prosperity and reaching the peak of a country's notoriety, fame, and wealth was under women. Not all the time, of course, but you notice it a lot in history. women should be protected. Women, protect yourself. Because usually, 94% of the time, men are the people we need protection from, not the other way around. And our country does very little to protect women. And that's a really big problem. And we need to fix that. Feminism will always be important. And feminism is vital for women's liberation. And just because you won rights doesn't mean you could wake up tomorrow and they're all gone. Fight, fight, fight. Vote out people who are bad. Vote in people who will defend your rights. We need to stop voting for white, cis, male rapists and vote for people who are experienced and can do the job. And they might just turn out to be women and Hispanics and gay and trans people. It seems that New York City voted for somebody that they might actually stand a chance of having a good 4 years. But our country, we're in some of the worst parts of history. And we have to live with it. And hopefully the Republicans mess up so bad, we don't want anything to do with them for 25 years. We can always hope. We can always hope.